In the sprawling, sun-drenched, and often brutally honest world of Euphoria, where characters are frequently defined by their trauma, their vices, and their desperate searches for identity, Maddy Perez stands out as a force of nature. She is introduced to us wrapped in the armor of impeccable style, unshakable confidence, and a razor-sharp wit that can cut down anyone who dares to cross her. Her relationship with Nate Jacobs is a central, painful drama, a cycle of explosive love and profound abuse that the show dissects with unflinching clarity. Yet, to view Maddy only through the lens of this violent romance is to miss one of the most compelling and tragic threads of her story, her fierce, complicated, and ultimately betrayed loyalty to her best friend, Cassie Howard. This loyalty, and its shattering, is not just a plot point about a boy coming between friends, it is a profound exploration of how female friendship is strained, twisted, and weaponized under the heavy weight of patriarchy, where the approval of men becomes a currency more valuable than the deepest bonds between women. To understand Maddy's loyalty to Cassie is to understand a survival tactic forged in a world that constantly pits women against each other. From the very beginning, Maddy's loyalty to Cassie is presented as a given, a foundational pillar in both their lives. They are the classic duo, Maddy, the fiery, street-smart one with a tough exterior, and Cassie, the softer, more traditionally feminine, and emotionally vulnerable one. Maddy acts as Cassie's protector, her advisor, and her cheerleader. She is the one who hypes Cassie up, who listens to her endless anxieties about boys, who tries to bolster her fragile self-esteem. In countless scenes, we see Maddy offering Cassie unwavering support, whether it's giving her a place to stay, affirming her beauty, or trying to steer her away from bad decisions. This loyalty is a form of love, but it is also a product of their environment. In the high school ecosystem and in the wider world, Euphoria reflects female solidarity is a necessary defense mechanism. They navigate the same minefield of male gaze, judgment, and potential violence. Maddy, having endured the private hell of her relationship with Nate, understands the dangers of this world on a visceral level. Her protectiveness over Cassie is, in part, a desire to shield her friend from the same pain she herself has internalized. Their friendship is a sanctuary, a space where they are supposed to be safe from the performances they put on for boys, a space of shared secrets and understood hardships. The patriarchy, however, is a master at turning allies into rivals. It teaches women from a young age that their primary value lies in their desirability to men, that their success is measured in romantic conquests, and that other women are not sisters in arms but competitors for limited resources, namely, male attention and validation. Cassie, tragically, is the character most thoroughly ensnared by this lesson. Her entire sense of self is precariously built on being wanted, being loved, being seen as the perfect girlfriend. So when she enters into a secret, intense affair with Nate Jacobs, the very boy who abused Maddy, the great love and great torment of her life, it is the ultimate capitulation to this poisonous logic. For Cassie, Nate represents the pinnacle of validation. He is powerful, desired, and from her perspective, he has chosen her over the formidable Maddy. In doing so, she trades the real, tangible loyalty of a lifelong friend for the fleeting, conditional approval of a deeply damaged man. She betrays not just a secret, but the very core code of their friendship, a code that was supposed to transcend the messy, painful world of boys. Maddy's discovery of this betrayal is one of the most devastating moments in the series, precisely because we have seen the depth of her loyalty. Her rage is volcanic, but it is layered with an ocean of hurt and incomprehension. The famous scene where she attacks Cassie in the bathroom, and later the chaotic confrontation at the New Year's Eve party, are not just about anger over a stolen boyfriend. They are the explosion of a fundamental truth being shattered. Maddy's worldview, in which her friendship with Cassie was a non-negotiable safe haven, is obliterated. The patriarchy's trap has been sprung, the man has become a prize worth more than the friendship, and Maddy is left standing in the wreckage. Her pain is compounded by the fact that the betrayal comes from the person she was most soft with, the person she defended. She famously states, "I know you better than you know yourself," a line that speaks to the intimacy they shared and now weaponizes that intimacy. Maddy's revenge, involving the DVD that could destroy Nate, is a power move. But it is also a tragic redirection of her energy. Instead of channeling her formidable strength into her own independence, she is pulled back into the Nate-centric drama, now with her former best friend as the rival. The complexity of this dynamic is what makes it so rich for analysis. It would be easy to paint Cassie as a simple villain, but the show refuses to do that. We see her spiraling in guilt, shame, and self-loathing, even as she continues the affair. Her need for Nate's validation is a sickness, an addiction that overrides every other loyalty. She is a victim of the same patriarchal system, one that has convinced her that a man's love is the only thing that can make her whole. Maddy, for all her strength, is not entirely free from this system either. Her identity was deeply tied to being Nate's girlfriend, to the status and drama that came with it. Her hurt is about the betrayal of friendship, but it is also inextricably linked to the humiliation of being replaced, of having her property infringed upon in a world that taught her to see Nate as a possession that defined her worth. So, the conflict becomes a brutal civil war between two victims of the same oppressive structure, fighting over the very agent of their oppression. The real enemy, Nate, who manipulated and hurt both of them, often watches from the sidelines as they destroy each other, his power reaffirmed by their conflict. In the aftermath, we see the haunting cost. Maddy's loyalty, once her most generous offering, hardens into a brittle cynicism. The experience teaches her a harsh lesson, that even the closest bonds can be broken by the allure of male approval. It deepens her understanding of the world as a fundamentally untrustworthy place, especially for women. For Cassie, the cost is a complete fragmentation of self. She loses her best friend, her moral compass, and any stable sense of identity, becoming a desperate figure willing to contort herself into any shape to keep a man who does not love her. Their friendship, that potential fortress against the world, lies in ruins, a casualty of a battle they were set up to lose from the start. The story of Maddy and Cassie is, therefore, a modern Greek tragedy about female friendship under patriarchy. It shows us that loyalty between women is a radical and fragile act in a society that does not value it, that constantly offers tempting, destructive alternatives. Maddy's loyalty was real, it was powerful, and it was ultimately not enough to withstand the pervasive, insidious message that a man's attention is the ultimate prize. Their heartbreaking conflict serves as a stark reminder that until women are freed from the need to derive their worth from male validation, even the deepest bonds of sisterhood remain vulnerable to the oldest, most divisive tricks in the book. The tragedy is not just that they fought, but why they fought, and in that why, we see the reflection of a world that still has much to learn about where true value and power between women really lie.